Hi friends, this is Mangalaprathaban talking to you about maximizing learner participation in the second language curriculum today. Majority of the schools and colleges have started offering online training programs, and it is quite important for all these institutions to think about interactive mode of learning as the principal way of making learners participate in the process of learning in a big way. However, it is not so easy at this moment because most of the teachers as well as learners have started getting to know various modalities of making use of strategies and techniques to learn several new things. It is very important for all of us to consider how to enhance interactive way of learning, interactive mode of learning. For that, we'll have to think about consultative curriculum, a curriculum which is co-created by learners. So learners participate in the process of understanding the nuances of curriculum, the challenges of curriculum, and of course, they do participate in actualizing the curriculum. In other words, the very idea of negotiated curriculum is to provide learners a role, a participative role, to channelize their energies, to consult with their teachers as peer learners. So teachers are also people who could facilitate learning and at the same time can help the learners understand their own learning dynamics, can help learners to introspect and strategize their learning process in a better way by giving them sample learning techniques or providing them certain handouts of learning inputs. So in a way, this is going to help the learners in a big way. That means we'll have to personalize the language learning process. We'll have to provide counseling to the learners in order to identify their strengths and weaknesses in the process of learning something new. Counseling strategies can work a lot only if there is a large number of open-minded interaction between the learners and teachers. It is the quality of learning input which decides the kind of learning that takes place in the classroom. But remember, the quality of learning is ultimately determined by the quality of strategies employed by the teacher in order to make sure that learning happens so easily. In other words, teachers have to create enthusiasm among the learners. A learning enthusiasm and learner enthusiasm are to be considered the most important task that a teacher has at his hand or at her hand. So teacher has to really study what makes the learners to be enthusiastic about how they proceed and what they actualize in real life. And that would help them in a big way to channelize their energies, to create new changes in the dynamics of learning. So whenever you have to create new dynamics of learning, as a teacher, you will have to identify the ways and means of learners' operative mode of learning, number one. Number two, you'll have to also look at how have been the progress of these learners over a period of time. What kind of challenges did they face and did they influence the learning process? And what were the past scenarios of the same learners in previous courses? So these are analyzed quite often by the teachers in order to create a conducive learning atmosphere. For that, assessment has to be a very, very pleasant tool of self-awareness. In other words, self-assessment is also another tool that we can make use of in our classrooms to make the learners understand the importance of actualizing their learning. It is very rare today to think about learners as participants, as equal participants in understanding what happens with the process of learning, because most of the classrooms have been teacher-oriented, irrespective of theories prevalent in India, across the borders. I would say all over the world, majority of the Asian countries have teacher-directed learning processes. Whereas in Europe, it was always kind of learner-oriented and learning-oriented teaching theories which are quite effective. But that is not the case here in the developing countries. What we have to concentrate is to ensure that the rural learners, the learners who don't have any idea of how to participate in the process of learning, can be helped with some sample learning strategies, learning techniques, and personalized counseling can be given to each of these learners to make sure that they can learn the target language so effectively and easily. I wish I can share more about this in the future videos. If you have any questions to ask me, please call me up at 9600954822. If you want to know more about me, visit me at www.mangalaprathaban.com. You can also watch my podcasts online, available in 7 different platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Hubhopper, and Anchor, etc. So ensure you watch this video, subscribe this video. If you have any suggestions, please mail me those ideas. Bye bye. See you.